In this video, I will show you how to configure the price determination in SAP S/4HANA Sales and Distribution Management. So first of all, let me show you what I mean by price determination. If we go to the transaction code VA01, by the way, this also works in Fiori, and then insert our order type, sales organization, distribution channel, and division, and hit on continue, we could now create a sales order. So we insert a sold to party and a ship to party, some payment terms, as well as the customer reference. And then we insert our material, as well as the order quantity. And if we scroll down a bit, let's say our customer will buy this product for 100 euro. And that's it. Let's hit on enter. Now, if we double click here on the item and go to the conditions tab, we can see how the price is determined. So in this case, we have here the price itself. Then we have some output tax. So this adds, in this case, 19 euro to the total. Then we have here an internal price. So normally our cost of goods sold. And then in the end, we have a profit margin. So we will configure this price determination now in the system. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. First of all, we will go to /n SPRO, sub-reference IMG. And then we scroll down a bit up until we can see sales and distribution, basic functions, pricing, price control. And over here, we will now start with condition tables and field catalog. So most importantly, we can create new condition tables if necessary. Let me first show you an existing one. So if we go to display condition tables for pricing and sales, and we just insert one condition table, then you can see a condition table is nothing else than a storage of several fields that will be used later on for the price determination. So we determine our prices here as a combination of our sales organization, distribution channel, as well as the customer number and the material number. So what does this mean? If we go back here to /OVA01, let me just pull it right here. You can see we inserted here the sales organization and distribution channel. So those two fields, so to say. Then in the detailed screen, we also entered our sold to party, who would be our customer. And as you remember, we inserted also material. So this is what is meant by this condition table. Normally, there are lots of condition tables already defined in the system. However, we will now create a new one. So we go back, go to create condition table for pricing and sales. Then we provide a table number. Let's say this one over here. We could also copy from an existing, but I want to show you how to do this from scratch. And now we need to select some fields that the system will check for the condition determination. So here on the right hand side, you can see the different fields available. Let's search here for sales organization. This one over here, we will select it as such. So click on it once and then click on select field. Now it's here on the left hand side. Then we have our distribution channel, select field. Next off, we will take the division as well into consideration. And furthermore, we will say the customer. This one here, it's KUNNR, not the other one. And also our material, this one over here. And that's it. So later on, we will store our condition for a combination of sales organization, distribution channel, division, as well as customer and material. We will now click on generate. The system informs us that there is already a similar table existing, but we are fine with that. We will hit on enter. Do you want to generate? Yes. We can see the table is now generated. Good. Next off, we will go back and into define condition types. Then double click on set condition type for pricing and sales. Over here, you can see lots of condition types already existing in our system. Amongst others, there's quite an important one called PPR0 for the price. We could even click on this per double click, and then you can see there are many more parameters we can utilize. I won't go into detail of them right now, because what I would always advise you to do is take an existing condition type and then copy it. So we'll now take this one over here, price, copy it to our own one, like that. And later on, we will provide a so-called access sequence. For now, we'll leave it as is. I will show you what an access sequence is in a second. So we click on copy, and that's basically it. So you might ask yourself where this condition type is stored. Well, let's go back to VA01 once more, hit on enter. We'll just provide some data, and I will also leave it open to show you even more. Provide the material quantity, because if we now double click here on the item and go to the conditions, here you can see those condition types. So amongst others, you can see here TTX1, and even there is a pricing error right now because our mandatory condition PPR0 is missing. We can fix this by going back and inserting a price. Let's quickly do that. So we insert the 100. And if we now double click on the item and go to conditions, you can see here the condition type PPR0. This is the one we also just copied here in our customizing to Z002. Good, we'll click on save and then we go back. Those ones here are optional for now, so we close the view and we go to the access sequences. Click on set access sequence. We get an information that this table is cross-client. That's fine for us. And then we will now define a new access sequence. We will call it Z002 on access sequence. Hit on enter, then select it and double click on accesses. Over here we will now store our condition table that we created before. So click on new entries, we will provide 990 and hit on enter. And you can see it stored over here. So we use those access sequences in case that we want the pricing condition to be found by a combination of different tables. So as you can see, I could insert here more tables. For instance, 991, 92, and so on. And what the system would do is the following. Let me just insert 005 here to show it to you and insert a number. Now the system would first check whether we stored a condition record for the table 990. So for a combination of sales organization, distribution channel, division, customer, and material. If that's the case, then this condition will be taken. If not, then the system will check the next table and check whether we inserted at least a combination of customer and material. I will show you in a second how we can actually maintain those conditions. This is the last step. However, for now I will delete this line here again. Then I will select the one we are actually interested in and double click on fields. Hit on enter and now you can see the system found the condition table that we just created. So here are the sales organization, distribution channel, division, sold to party and our material, as well as the release status, but this was set automatically. So we can click on save. Now we will go back again. We will copy this access sequence, go back a couple of times and then back here in define condition types, double click on set condition types. For pricing and sales, we will position to the new one we created, double click on it, and as I told you, we will now provide you the access sequence that we created. It's now assigned to the condition type, because later on we will store our condition via the condition type. But as you see that the condition type is linked here to the access sequence, the system will find our table with the sales organization, distribution channel, division, customer, and material. So we can store it. We will click on save. Now we can go back again and out of the view. And next off, we will go here to define and assign pricing procedure. Over here, we can now set the pricing procedure with a double click on set pricing procedure. You can see there are many pricing procedures already existing in the system, and this is quite complex. So I would always advise you to select one and then copy it as such. Then we provide here a new procedure. Let's say this one over here, select it and then hit on enter. We'll click on copy all, so that all entries will be copied. And if we now select our procedure and double click on procedure control data, you can see a complex table. So I copied an existing one and now I could edit the information if necessary. What looks quite technical over here is nothing else than the procedure stored in our sales order. So if we go to the sales order, you can see over here, let me just do it in a split screen for you. You can see over here, we have our gross amount. This is this field over here. We have, if we scroll down here a bit, then we can also see some of surcharges, discounts. This is also something we can find, as well as the net amount, this one over here, the output tax, and so on and so forth. So you might ask yourself, why is not everything being displayed over here? As you can see, we have much more condition lines. But this is because, let me actually go into the full view, we have here different parameters that we can set. I won't go into detail of each of those. And as you know, you could always display the search help via F1 on your keyboard when clicking on one of those, but just the basic ones. So you can see here, there's a column called required. So those entries marked here as required are also being displayed out of the box in our sales order. So the price you have seen before. And if we scroll down, you can see also here the output tax, and this output tax, for instance, TTX1, you will also find it over here because it's mandatory. All the others are not required entries. So meaning that we could insert them manually in our sales order, but they are not being displayed out of the box. In our sales order, let me just go back. Here you could click on the plus symbol to insert a row, and then store those condition records if necessary. Let's go back to the customizing. For now, what we will do is I will change this field here to total so that you can see the difference. Please be aware that in our sales order as of now, this field is named total amount. But I will change it to total now. Now this is fine. In another session, I will also show you here what the other different parameters mean, because you can set here lots of stuff if necessary. But for now, I want you to show the whole picture. So we'll click on save and that's it. We will copy this procedure because we need it later on. We'll go back back again, and we'll go to set customer pricing procedure. Here you can see different pricing procedures, and this is only an alphanumeric key and a description, so we can't click over here. This pricing procedure is stored in our business partner master data. I will show you this in a second when we create a business partner. So as of now, I will create a new one, Z5, call it test and save. Then go back and that's it. Then we have here the next one, set document pricing procedures. I will click on this one, and here you can see different so-called document pricing procedures. This is also only an alphanumeric key and a description. So you could create a new one over here if necessary. But we will use this one over here called A standard. Then we go to assign document pricing procedure to order types. And here you can see we have our different sales document types. So for instance, OR. And this one is assigned to R, the one I've shown you a second ago. So this OR is nothing else than, if we go into the sales order and back here a couple of times, this one over here. So remember, the order type, the sales order type, is linked to the document pricing procedure. Now we'll go to assign document pricing procedure to billing types. And over here we can do the same and also assign our pricing procedures to a billing type. So later on, when we created a sales order, one day it will be built as well. But this is the same process. Then we go back. And now, most importantly, we go to set pricing procedure determination. We will go to the sales organization 1010 in my example, and we will just copy an existing one. Now, what we will do is the following. We want our pricing procedure to be determined by a combination of our sales organization, distribution channel and division, the document pricing procedure, and as you remember, A is linked to our sales document type OR and also to a billing document type, and the customer pricing procedure we created. In our case, it was Z5. Then we want to store our own pricing procedure that we created. Let me just copy it. This one over here. And also there is this condition type for fast entry, which is nothing else than the amount cell we fill in our sales order. So if we go back to the sales order here, I am talking about, let me just fill some information like that, just quickly because I want to show you where this is stored. So as you can see, we insert a quantity, and if we double click on the item and into the conditions, you can already see maintain condition PPR0. So it's not being displayed over here because it's in the fast entry screen already, which is, if we go back, this one over here. If we insert here our amount, then go to the item, you can see now it's visible over here. This is meant by fast entry. Back in the customizing, you know that we created an own condition type, Z002. And as you can see, we have now an error message because we need to correct something. As you can see, the condition type is not in our procedure. So we will open a new screen, /o SPRO, sub-reference IMG, sales and distribution, basic functions, pricing, price control, define and assign pricing procedure. Before we close the pricing procedure, we will also change here the condition type PPR0 to the one we created, Z002, and then save. Now let's go out of this view and wait on enter. And now you can see it was saved successfully. And then hit on save. You can see it was saved successfully. Now last but not least, we will insert an actual condition for the condition type Z002. And also we will store here our customer pricing procedure Z5 in our business partner. So first of all, we go to /npp. We'll create a new business partner via organization, insert some test data like that. We will save it. And then we'll go to the change mode and we provide at least a role called FLCU01 customer. Then go to more, sales and distribution, provide the sales organization, distribution channel and division. Please now make sure to provide the right one. So the one which is also stored in our pricing procedure. Hit on enter, we go down, and here in the orders, we will set our pricing procedure to the one we just created. So as of now, we have our sales organization, distribution channel and division, and our customer pricing procedure. So the only thing missing for our system to find the right pricing procedure is that we select the right sales order document type later on when we create the sales order, which is OR. And also we need to store the condition record, but this I will show you in a second. Let's go to shipping. Let's see if there's something more relevant. The shipping condition, this is fine. Billing, here we just need to provide our taxes. That is also fine. And then we can save. You can see changes have been saved. We can now go to the general data and then to customer general data to check the number of the customer because this is the one we are working with. And now last but not least, we will store the so-called condition record. And then it will all make sense for you. If we go to /n VK11, we need to insert our condition type. This one over here, Z002. Now you can see here, we have our sales organization, distribution channel and division. We insert our customer number, hit on enter, and then we provide our material as well as an amount, our currency and a unit, as well as a unit of measure. And as you can see, this is exactly this condition table I was talking about. So we created in the beginning our condition table for a sales organization, distribution channel, division, customer and material. And it is found over here via the condition type. We will hit on save and now we can see this in action. So we will copy this number and go to VA01 transaction code, provide our order type OR, sales organization, distribution channel and division, hit on enter. Then we insert our sold to and shipped to party, hit on enter. We provide a reference as well as some payment terms. And now we will provide our material TG0012. The order quantity is 1, hit on enter. And you can see all the other information is already filled from our condition record, including also the amount, which we set to 100. Now last but not least, we will double click here on the item and go to conditions. And over here you can now see our own pricing procedure that we created with the condition type Z002 and also where I changed the total amount to total. Those are just small changes, but they show you how this works in action. Thanks a lot for watching this video till the end. I hope you liked it. If so, then please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Also make sure to subscribe to my Patreon, where we have a community chat and where I post lots of informative blog posts about SAP. The link is in the bio of my channel. Thanks a lot and see you next time.